All right, we'll get started. We'll still start lying down today. So any comfortable position. Sorry, before I get started, if you use blocks, when we come up, you may want to grab your blocks so they're by your mat. All right. So lowering or closing your eyes. And noticing the sensation of your body on the earth. Notice the parts of your body that touch the earth. And then checking in with your breath. Seeing if your breath is shallow or deep, quick or slow. Where is it catching and where is it flowing? And then perhaps taking deep inhales in through your nose, into your diaphragm. And long, slow exhales out. And as you exhale, I invite you to let go of your day. Let go of any thoughts that you don't need during our time here together. Let go of any tension that you feel in your body, especially your jaw, around your eyes, your shoulders, and your hips. As you let go, notice if maybe those touch points on the earth start to spread. Maybe more of your body starts to feel the earth beneath you. Okay. So if you came to my second class yesterday, you'll recognize this theme for today. So today's class is on self-care. So what does self-care mean to you? And can you allow time for yourself without self-judgment? Self-care crosses into many different areas of life. It can be about how you talk to yourself, learning to slow down and honor your time, maybe adding meditation to your day, or simply having some quiet time alone. Andrea Ferretti defines self-care as the conscious act of taking care of your needs so that you can best serve your purpose or dharma in the world. So with this definition in mind, self-care is not just an inward journey. It is also about being of service to the world around us. This is why self-care should never be considered as self-indulgent. Another way of looking at it is putting your oxygen mask on before you tend to others. The self-care of yoga and meditation helps you stay present and tune into self-awareness, making conscious choices easiest to tap into throughout your day. So today's practice will give you lots of opportunity to ask yourself which shapes we make with our body, which ones nourish you. And as we go through our practice, I invite you to notice which shapes you enjoy the most and which ones are the most challenging to you, either physically or mentally. All right, so making some small movements here in your fingers and toes. Maybe rolling around wrists and ankles. Maybe you take a big stretch here, reaching the arms behind you, legs are long. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come into a banana shape. So arms are long, legs are long, stretching them out. And then hips stay on the earth, shifting your head and shoulders over towards the right side of your mat. And then perhaps your legs shift over towards the right side of your mat as well. Both hips remain on the earth. And if you wish to make this a little bit deeper, perhaps the right hand grabs a hold of the left wrist to pull it over. And then perhaps the left ankle crosses over the right. Noticing your breath in this pose. Notice your breath along the left side of your body. Finding one more round of breath here. And then releasing everything, coming back to center. This time, reach nice and long. Head and shoulders, arms come over to the left side of your mat. Perhaps the legs slide to the left. Maybe grabbing a hold of the right wrist, and perhaps right ankle crosses over left. One more round of breath, and then gently coming back to center. All right, let's hug both knees in towards the chest. Maybe you rock from side to side. Maybe you create circles with your knees. They could go in the same direction, opposite direction. All right, so first pose here to see what nourishes you the most. So what feels best for you in this pose in your body? All right, and then we're going to come into a happy baby. So feet are going to come up towards the sky, activate the feet. Knees come out towards the sides. So depending on what's going on in your body, grabbing a hold of either the backs of the thighs, the lower legs somewhere, or somewhere on the feet. And again, what feels good for you here? Is it movement or is it stillness? All right, let's come into a half happy baby. So keeping a hold of the right side. Left foot comes to the earth either with a bent knee or extending the left leg long. Softening your right shoulder. Well, I guess you could soften both shoulders, right? Noticing your breath. Softening your hips. And on your next inhale, let's come back to that full happy baby. And then on your next exhale, right foot comes to the floor either with a bent knee or extend the leg long. So one more round of breath here. And then releasing that foot to the earth. And in your own time, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then gently making your way up to seated. Ooh, you know what? We're going to skip seated. We'll come right into tabletop. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's find some organic movement here. So whatever feels good for you. Maybe it's cat-cow, C shape. Perhaps it's in and out of child's pose. So you're probably going to hear a lot of whatever feels best for you during this class. All right, let's come to tabletop. Curling the toes under, sending the hips up and back behind us, still a bend in the knees. So downward dog, shoulders roll back and down your spine, gripping your fingers into the mat. Inside of the elbows, look at each other. Try not to lock out the elbows. Maybe if it feels good, you start to straighten your legs, only as much as feels comfortable today. Ooh. If you want, you can pedal out your feet. Soften your neck. Okay, making your way towards the front of your mat into a forward fold. However, it feels right to get there. So as much of a bend in your knees as you need so that there's no discomfort in your low back or the backs of your thighs. Allowing your neck to dangle. Perhaps you find some movement here, so maybe it's swaying from side to side. Or maybe if you want a little stretch in the neck, as long as you don't have any neck issues, clasping your hands behind your head, tuck your elbows in by your ears, and then gently bringing your chin towards your chest. One more round of breath. Releasing your arms wherever they are, and let's come into a halfway lift. Hands come to shins and thighs. Flat back. Draw the belly button in. Exhale, forward fold. And then bringing the arms out towards the sides. Reverse swan dive up into extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right. So you're going to come sideways on your mat. And you're gonna, we'll just come to the middle of the mat. So if you have blocks and you use them for things like side angle or triangle, you'll need one block on either side. Okay. All right, so let's start here. We're gonna start in a wide-legged forward fold. So it will depend on what feels best for you in your body. Oh, I probably should mention, this sequence we're doing today, I didn't write it down. I think it's called the golden seed sequence. All right, so as we go through, you may change the space of your feet. You'll just kind of notice what feels best for you. So in our forward fold, we'll start just with hands on our hips. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and then exhale, folding forward with a flat back. So come down only as far as you feel comfortable, and then feet come to perhaps your legs somewhere or towards the earth. Find a couple rounds of breath here. All right, and then we're going to find a halfway lift. So if your hands are on the floor, maybe they stay on the earth, you extend your back, or if it's more comfortable for you, maybe hands come to hips. So flat back here, creating kind of like an L shape with your body. Okay, and then exhale to forward fold. All right, so we're going to move into a goddess pose from here. So wherever you are, slightly bend into your knees and then pivot your feet so that your toes point towards the top corners of your mat. You're going to sit your hips back, bring your arms up, come into goddess pose. So we want to make sure the knees are going out towards that second or third toe. We want to make sure at least the knees come back. We don't want them to cave forward. So depending on what you feel in your low back, you may need a slight tuck of the tailbone to send the tailbone down. Some of us send our hips way back when we come into this, down, okay? So let's bring our arms down by our shoulders and then push the arms out. Okay. Push into your feet, inhale, lift, star pose. Okay, and then turning your feet once again, we're going to come into a forward fold. So hands either to hips, or maybe you keep your arms overhead, flat back. Swan diving down. Not swan dive, come down. All right, so in this wide-legged forward fold, perhaps you find something different here with your arms. So if it's comfortable for you, clasping your hands behind your low back, shoulders roll back and down your spine, extend your arms up towards the sky. All right, release the hands down towards your legs or the earth. Let's come into halfway lift. Again, slight bend in your knees, turn the toes out towards the corners, sit back into your goddess pose. I'm getting you used to moving into goddess pose from there. Okay, beautiful. Stand up, reach star pose. Okay, and then hands down by your sides. So we're going to come into a side angle. So let's bring the left foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Right foot intersects with the middle of the left foot. So we'll come into warrior one to begin. Hips square towards the side, the long edge of the mat. All right, in our side angle, right forearm comes down to the right thigh, left arm reaches up and over. Okay, so little practice here to open up the rib cage. Perhaps you take the left hand, bring it to the underside of your rib cage, and use it to help you roll open. And then bringing the hand back and over. Okay, inhale, come back into your warrior two. All right, let's turn and come to the other side. So right foot parallel to the short edge of the mat, left foot turns. Bend into the front knee. We want to make sure it's over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. And then side angle, left forearm to the thigh, right arm reaches up and over. Perhaps you take that right arm, reach it underneath and help you roll your rib cage open. And then bring that arm back and over towards the front or the short edge of the mat. There's no front or back, not today. All right, windmill your arms back up, warrior two. We're going to straighten the legs. All right, if you need at any point to walk your feet back together, shake out your legs, feel free to do so. And if you're ready to keep going, you can follow me. So triangle pose. This is why we have blocks at both sides of the mat. So we'll turn the right toes out, same thing, same setup as warrior two. Back foot's parallel to the back of the mat. We want to keep a slight micro bend in that front knee. So in our triangle pose, from here, we're going to reach forward like we're reaching across the table and then tip over. So kind of like a little teapot. Right hand can come to your thigh, your shin, your foot, the earth, or a block. So we want to stack the shoulder, stack the left shoulder, left arm over top of the right. That makes sense? So same thing as before, as the side angle, we want to rotate the rib cage back. Maybe if it feels good, you look up at your hand. If it feels sucky, you look anywhere else, wherever it feels good in your neck. All right, one more round of breath. Bending into that front knee, come back up to your warrior two, and then we'll flip over to the other side. So right foot parallel with the short edge, slight micro bend in the left knee, reaching forward with the left arm, coming into your variation of triangle. Roll open the rib cage, or imagine there's a wall behind you. You want the back of your head, both shoulders, both hips up against the wall as best as you can. All right, bending into the front knee, windmilling your arms back up, warrior two. All right, turning both feet. Arms come down. So take a break if you need to, shake out your legs. We're going to come into a side squat. So this is really where you pay attention to what feels best for you in your body. So some of us need to stay up high, some can come down low. Listen to your body today, and as we move through it, it might change, okay? So I personally like a side squat by turning those toes out towards the side. Everybody's a little different depending on how they're made up in their body. So we're going to go towards the right. Sorry if I'm opposite. So we turn the toes out towards the right side. We're going to shift our way over towards the right side. And try not to let that knee go past the toes. And this time we're going to send the hips back. All right, push into that right foot, come back to center, and then over towards the left side. We're going to stay high just for a few rounds here. Come back to center, and then to the right. Send the hips back. Inhale to center, and exhale to the left. Ready? Inhale to center. If you're able to, when you come to the right, hands can come down to the earth. Maybe you come up on your toes or on your heel. Perhaps the left toes face up towards the sky. Okay? So if you're up high, same thing. Inhale to center. If you're down low, maybe you use your hands as you slide over towards the left side. Activate the right foot. Okay, we're going to go one more time in each direction, but take a break if you need to. So over towards the right side, side squat. And then over towards the left. Okay, let's come into wide-legged forward fold. So feet are parallel to the short edge of the mat. All right, let's bring the arms out towards the side with a flat back reverse swan dive up. Arms reach up towards the sky And exhale, hands to heart center. Heel toeing the feet back together. Give your legs a little shake. Take a drink if you need to. And then we're going to come into the flow. How are we doing? Do we have any questions so far? Good? Good? Okay. All right. So golden seed. All right, we start wide on the mat. What are we doing? We started in a star pose. We're going to turn our toes out towards the sides, towards the top corners of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, sit down into your goddess. Bring your arms down by your shoulders and then push out. Beautiful. Turning your feet and then swan diving down into a forward fold. Let's find a halfway lift. Okay, from here we're going to turn the toes of our right foot over towards the right side of the mat. We're going to find a triangle here. So it's not going to be a perfect triangle. Right hand comes wherever you need it. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Keep a slight micro bend in that right knee. All right, it's not going to be as far as when we do it from standing. Totally fine. All right. Spin that back foot so it's parallel to the side of the mat, short edge of the mat, forward fold. Halfway lift. Pivoting the toes of the left foot out towards the short edge of the mat. Find your way into a triangle on this side. Making your way back over into wide-legged forward fold, spinning both feet so they're parallel to the short edge of the mat. All right, so this is where we turn our toes, point them out towards the corners of the mat. Sit your hips back, find your goddess pose. Perhaps you send the tailbone down towards the earth. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Turning the feet. Exhale, this is I forget what it's called. Okay, we're going to come down. Arms are going to reach in front. And then send the arms back behind you. Drinking bird. All right. Inhale, let's come back up to standing or scoop the arms up. It's like you're bringing energy up. Turn the toes out. Exhale into your goddess pose. Push the energy out. So this time we're not going to come up to standing. So you pivot the feet, forward fold. Ooh, arms come back behind you. Sorry, drinking bird. Inhale, send the hips back, turn the toes, goddess pose. All right, exhale, turn the feet, forward fold. Drinking bird, it doesn't matter. All right, bring the arms out in front, scoop up the energy, star pose. And then hands come down by your sides. We're going to take a break and we're going to add to that. So shake out your legs if you need to. All right, so you can add if you want, or you can just kind of stay in the first few poses that we tried or that we just did. Drinking bird. Let's see if I remember drinking bird and not forward fold. Okay. All right, so we start. Let's start toes out towards the corners of the mat. Arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, goddess pose. Bring the arms down. Shoot the arms out towards the sides. All right. Turning the feet, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to turn the toes of the right foot out towards the side. Find your triangle here on this side. And then make circles here with your arms. So perhaps it's bringing the arm, let's see, we're bringing the arm forward and then back. Try the other way. Bring it back and then forward and up. Oh, that's better. Okay. So creating circles, or maybe you just stay in your triangle. All right, find your triangle once again. Okay. Making your way back over into your wide-legged forward fold. Halfway lift, left foot turns out. Find your triangle on this side. And perhaps, again, you reach that arm back and down and then towards the left foot. Reach it up and around, making circles. So one more here. All right, bringing your hands towards the middle here, turning your feet parallel to the sides of the mat, forward fold. Okay, sitting your hips back, coming into a halfway lift, turn the toes out, find your goddess pose. All right, so maybe you hold your goddess here, or maybe you find side angle arms. So right forearm comes to the right thigh, reach the left arm up and over. Try not to collapse in on that right arm. Inhaling to center and exhaling over to the other side. Let's do that one more time in each direction. Beautiful. Bringing the arms up towards the sky. Turn the feet, come into a forward fold. Supposed to be drinking swan. Okay, let's bring the hands behind the back. If you wish, clasping your hands, shoulders roll back and down your spine, reaching the arms up towards the sky. All right, release the hands, turn the toes out, send the hips back, find your goddess pose. Maybe you stay here, or maybe hands come to the thighs and we do some shoulder dips. So right shoulder dips down towards center. Inhaling up to center, exhaling left shoulder down. We'll do that one more time in each direction. Okay, find your goddess pose. Let's do this. Let's stand up, reach the arms up, turn the feet sideways. Drinking bird, arms reach back behind you as you come into forward fold. So maybe you keep the arms long here, squeeze the shoulders towards each other and roll your shoulders back and down your spine. Feel energy here in your fingers, so keep them nice and straight. All right, we're going to find our goddess pose. Turn the toes out towards the sides. Send the hips back, goddess pose. Ready? Now we're going to find a side squat. So shifting your way over towards your right side and then over towards the left. Send the hips back. Continue moving at your own pace. Maybe you come down and you find a stretch. Or maybe you continue moving from side to side. One more time in each direction. All right, making your way into a forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. All right, arms out to the side. Come on up with a flat back, reach up towards the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Feel toeing the feet in, shake the legs out. All right, that's it. Golden seed, kind of, sort of. All right, let's come down onto the mat
And onto your front body. Let's see for time. Onto the front body. Just a little bit of back bending here to kind of balance out all the forward folding we did. So to start off, just a baby cobra. So hands are underneath your shoulders. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Tuck the elbows in by your sides. Reach the feet away from you, point your toes, and then placing the tops of your feet on the earth. Looking down at the earth, and then lift your heart. And exhale to lower. If at any point you feel discomfort in your low back, take a break by bending your knees and windshield wipering your feet from side to side. All right, if you want to keep going, let's keep going. So tops of the feet onto the earth. Maybe finding either Sphinx pose or full cobra. Full cobra, hands are by your chest. Same thing, shoulders roll back and down your spine. Tuck your elbows, lift, slight micro bend in your elbows. Tuck them in by the sides. All right, exhale, come all the way down. Bending the knees, windshield wipering the feet. All right, let's find a locust pose. So locust pose, hands come back by the legs, palms face down, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Again, tops of the feet push down towards the earth. Looking down at the earth, lift your heart. Perhaps you lift your arms, squeeze your shoulder blades towards center. So just go as far as you feel comfortable in this. Maybe you point your toes, squeeze your inner thighs, lift your feet. And breathe. So remember, we were talking about self-care. What feels good and what is challenging physically and mentally. No judgment, just notice. And exhale to lower. All right, bending the feet, windshield wipering bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet from side to side. I've said worse. All right, let's find one more stretch while we're down here. So a bow pose. Maybe it's just a half bow. So I'll start us off in half bow. And if you wish, you can come into full bow. So Sphinx arms, forearms to the earth, elbows are underneath the shoulders, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Let's start by bringing the left arm across the mat. So that's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Bend the right knee, activate the right foot, curl back the toes. Maybe you grab a hold of the ankle or the foot. All right, we're going to come into that pose on the other side. So releasing the foot, both arms come down to Sphinx arms. Turning the right arm parallel to the short edge of the mat, bend the left knee, activate the foot, and find the foot or the ankle. Releasing that side. So let's take a little break for the back. Come down onto the earth. Maybe you stack hands and place your forehead on the hands. Bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet. All right, so if you want to stay working in half boat, I encourage you to go back to the side that's the tightest. Bow. All right, if you want to come into full bow, you're going to bend the knees, activate the feet, bring the arms back, find the ankles, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Perhaps you push the feet up towards the sky. So we activate the feet here to protect the knees. So if we happen to move in a funny direction, we're less likely to hurt our knees. All right, one more round of breath. And then exhale to lower. All right, feet come to the earth. Head comes on top of stacked hands. Let's turn the toes out towards the sides. Feet are wide on the mat. So crocodile pose. And find your breath. Okay, one more round of breath. And then slowly making your way into tabletop. Okay, so be nice and gentle with yourself. What would feel good here? Cat-cow, C-shape, in and out of child's pose. Maybe it's just child's pose. So listen to your body. All right, one more round of breath here. And then making your way onto your back. So we're going to find a quick twist here. So let's bring feet together on the mat. Knees are bent, arms are out towards the sides, palms face up. All right, so shoulders and feet stay where they are. Lifting your hips, shifting them over towards the left side of the mat, place them down, and then allow the knees to drop over towards the right. So hips go one way, knees the other. It helps create kind of a straight spine. Okay. And then maybe you turn your head towards the left side. I say it's straight spine even though we're in a twist. You know what I mean? Softening your shoulders. Softening your jaw. And take deep inhales in through your nose. And long, slow exhales out. Finding one more round of breath. And then allowing your knees to come back to center. Reposition your back flat on the earth. This time, hips shift over to the right side of the mat, knees drop left. And perhaps you look over towards the right.
Once this side feels complete to you, allowing your knees to come back to center, reposition your back flat on the earth, and then find Shavasana or any final resting pose that would feel good for you in your body. Again, noticing the touch points of your body on the earth. With every exhale, perhaps you soften your body just a little bit more. Releasing any tension in your forehead. Imagining here that you can soften both the inside and the outside of your ears and see what happens to the upper jaw. Softening the lower jaw. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the hips. So was there anything that occurred to you during class that maybe you would like to change or you would like to bring into your daily life for self-care? Again, self-care can be the way we take care of our body, but also the way we take care of the mind. Maybe it's being less judgmental with ourselves, laughing at ourselves when we fall. Maybe it's speaking more words of kindness. Or perhaps it's finding more time to rest. Gently bringing your awareness back into the room. Perhaps making some small movements in your body. Maybe those small movements become bigger movements. And then whenever you're ready, you're rolling over to one side. And gently making your way up to seated. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. Taking deep inhales in through your nose, into your diaphragm, and long, slow exhales out. As you inhale, I invite you to inhale peace, love, and self-compassion. And as you exhale, release anything that is standing in your way. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. That light is a place of peace, love, kindness, and compassion. When you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, there is no difference and no distance between us. Together we are the same. We are one. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful evening.